Hello everybody and welcome back to the episode 122 of my last play of Torment Tides of Numenera. Anyway, we're going to check to her and have some sleep finally. I like to sleep her! Money, can I sleep you free? Give her the money. Okay, that should help. Everyone has a nice little nappy wappy. Okay.
Nothing can stop me now.
Hopefully we can now interact and find out why. The whole story from that woman and why she's being imprisoned.
Alright.
And I keep looking around on the way out of this mall. Hopefully that sword we used to send our little friend home will come in handy. Or the little scalpel.
It's a plan.
It's the plan, it's the plan. You're the man with the plan. Since the only female's gone. You're the man with the plan.
Yes.
And he agreed. He's like, yes. The main tide will not stop you from talking. Take any path, picking any option in conversation. They can influence how others respond to you. So, okay.
On my way.
Well, this works now. And since the last episode I didn't save it once, so we're going to do a quick save before we chat with her. Once again, 46. Yeah, go over top 46, that's fine. Okay. I want to talk about allegations against you again. On intelligence. Seriously, 50? Oh, come on! Okay. He's asleep again. Stat pool spent on effort restored. She studies you carefully, weighing your words against some internal bar meter. At last, she says, yes, it is true that I poisoned their what? Seriously? Okay, you're imprisoned for poisoning them and basically them dying, so for murder. But you go, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. But the thing is, I did poison the water. So you're guilty. Just try poisoning their water. I could not enter Nelson myself, but I had heard of this B-word offshoot of their clan. I wanted to slay one of their Farhat. I took the journey from the steadfast under considerable peril, and I brought death with me. So, again, why are you acting like they're pointing the finger at you and did nothing wrong what you did? This is the first time that I have tried something like this. I do not regret what I did. The mutant prince wishes to see me show remorse, but he will not have the satisfaction. Okay. What's that sigil on your armor? She looks down, frowning as if she had forgotten she wore such an emblem. This is the symbol of the Argun Knights. The cross, the blades, represent our ability to step beyond the laws of nations in order to deal true justice. We seek to reclaim the world for humanity's light. So in other words, I can do what I want, is what you're saying. In other words, I don't care for laws. So, yeah, so not only admitted it, you also admitted that's what you do normally, so you're a criminal. You tell me about the Arkan? What can you tell me about Karaguda? The mutant prince, I need to remember the mutant is both male and female, swims in the disgusting stew of a tank, bathing in his own filth, and somehow it summons powers that keep the rest of the creature in line. Creatures. They said Karaguda was a wizard. I didn't believe them until the mutant imprisoned me with its power. Okay, so it looks like we're looking for Karaguda. What did I say about the knights? Face lives with passion. The symbol of our order represents our willingness to step beyond the bounds of property, advance across humanity. She looks around and lowers her voice. Actual humanity, you know. She tosses her hair. If we must take up the blade to meet our justice, we do not hesitate. We travel Midgard for the betterment of all, and those who oppose our mission soon see the error of their ways. In the steadfast, in order of truth itself blessed us. I am a Knight Marshal in our organization. I have proven myself many times over. I will continue to do so as long as I draw breath. She leans back, her eyes closing. Our hunger for justice brings our great physical hunger as well. One council, I recall, they brought us fresh waters distilled from the dew of the mountains, roasted and spiced. I need an exotic flaming cheese. We do not ask anything of those we aid, but sometimes there are Langies humbles me. Tell me about the Anglo Knights, tell me about Cara again. I guess that's it. Okay, so yeah.
Yes.
If we had an option to free you, we wouldn't because you are a criminal. Okay, mutant. I wonder what the more is. Arrogance perhaps, or the colour green of girls with anklets? Anklets, maybe. See them all, it erupted out of the wall and destroyed my damn house. Oh, yes.
All right.
A construction lies motionless and partly disassembled here. Spider-like legs spiraled about it. Such a construction for anything useful. You search for a few minutes, but find nothing of value. Scavengers must have long ago picked this construction clean. Absolutely. What the f... Oh, sure, I thought we were stuff landing on us. Absently, you lay your hand upon the metal shell to push yourself away from the wreck and feel a faint vibration. Quick fingers reach into the hook and find the source of the vibration you felt. 85. 80. I guess I'm the best at this. Yeah. Putting your shoulders up against one of the construction's vertical vents, you reach into the dark, probing, carefully following the vibrations, rippling towards you. Straying? You walk your fingers up mesh, swandled objects across a cable to a partially crushed cube, strung with a frayed wires. You carefully shift a loose hunk of metal from the cube's surface aside and keep looking for the source of the vibration. A wave of wordless sorrow crashes over you, tinged with flecks of hope. Your gaze shifts back to your hand and the hunk of metal. The alien emotion came through it into you. Uh-oh. As it's summoned by the thought, a small floating spear drifts into view. It prods at the cube with a beam of light, then vibrates softly. Spear. The spear drifts around the inside the dead construction, occasionally halting to, yes, repairing damage as if patching holes in the armour will bring its host back to life. Every few moments it returns to the broken cube and attempts to repair it again. When nothing happens, the spear vibrates, and then that happens, you hear a soft series of whirring clicks. It may be some sort of machine language, but you can't make any sense. Take the spear and the module. Inspect this construction. You study the remains of the construction, putting the details together, noticing scattered piles of refuse and burnt holes in the back of its armour. The construction was likely cornered here and tried to flee up the mounds of the trash rather than fight its tormentors. They attacked it from behind and it fell either dead or dying. Perception. You peer between the plates into the carcass interior. Judging by the scratches, gouges and broken components, you see inside someone purposely jammed a blunt pole into the construction's innards in an attempt to crush its vital systems. Wherever this happened before or after its death is unclear. Inspect the construction again. Take the spear. Okay. You pull the communication module from the surface of the cube and the spire follows, shivering in the open air. Turns as if taking in the ruined hope one last time, then it settles into your open palm, obediently shuddering. Okay. Neat. Guess we can talk to it.
Fine.
Save before we screw this up. See what it says. Can we get it through? It's saved anyway. A reddened mass of flesh protrudes from the bloom wall, surrounded by waving tentacles. The flesh is thick and strong, glistening with a light newborn beast. A jagged seam runs across its surfaces, with faint light spilling from within. As you approach, all the sounds of the little Nilsson seem to fade. The hushed conversations of the mutants recede into their distance, replaced by the hissing, chittering voices of the bloom. You realise suddenly that this is a maw. You're not only sure how you're not sure how you know, but the word leaps onto your mind as if you've seen this thing before. The waving tentacles, you know with equal certainty, are its tongues. Could open the maw with a temperature scalpel, observe the behaviour of the bloom tongues, yourself to the bloom tongues, listen carefully to the bloom voices. Let's listen to that before we cut it open. The hissing and chittering of the bloom are no different than usual. As far as you can tell, perception, your sharp senses provide no particular advantage in hearing the odd sound. You realise that the Bloom's voices are a psychic phenomenon, not a physical one. They are literally voices in your head. You can't detect any patterns or meanings in the sound. They seem entirely random. David the Bloom. Tentacles seem to be fixed upon Algan. Okay. They stretch towards him like the arms, and they do seem to be touching him, of desperate lovers, but he stays carefully out of reach, eyeing them suspiciously. Well, they keep going through, so he's not doing a good job staying out of reach, just saying. David the Bloom. Well, I think the more wants to feed on you. It's your keen powers of observation that keep us all so close to you. I'll stay here. Thanks. His eyes follow the dance of the Bloom tongues as they strain towards him, beckoning, reaching. Do you think it wants, Allegan? Offer yourself to the more so we can see where it leads. No. Let's see what else we can figure out about this more. Do you think it wants? His eyes have taken a far away look as he keeps a watch on the Moor's tongue, as if they were hypnotizing him, and his voice has lost its unusual harsh edge. Guilt. It wants to eat my guilt. What else you can figure out about this more? Oh, actually, guilt. That'd be good if he gets rid of his guilt. I was just going to cut him open, but if it feeds on the guilt, he won't feel guilty no more. Let's see what he says. Sure, and why don't you counter Craig? Warm replies. See how you like being devoured. We'll open until you step into the mass. You'll be fine, I'm sure of it. Besides, it looks like you're in trouble. I'll pull you out. If you don't want to risk yourself, then we'll find another way. That's fine. Cut them all. Scalpel. Oh, sugar! You drive the scalpel. Holy fudge. Into the Moor's sanguine flesh, and it yields like quivering blubber and courage. You begin hacking through meat and gristle. The Bloom emits a hissing, seething roar, and a wave of almost palatable hatred passes over you. The ground shakes. And the Moor opens. Thank you. Thank you. We'll come again. I hope that was a good idea. And well, we'll go. Who was this? Looks like we're above the planet. What? Oh, crud.
All right.
Hello? Captain Jana, the careworn woman, is dressed in strange, ordered armor. Her bearing is military stiff, and her eyes roam constantly, though the rest of her body is under strict control. She assesses you in a glance. Outworlder. The Bloom puzzle is open. It is good that you speak. Spoke to me first. I just walked through here and you speaking to me. I didn't want to speak to you, but whatever. Few Lancers speak your tongue, officers. Mainly she clucks her tongue. We need practice. Welcome to the... Who's that? The Archi-Rage. Arco-Rage? I was going to say Archi-Chuck, but... whatever. I am Captain Jarun. This Archi-Rage is my command. All you see is under my command! Yes! My command! I'm sorry, I must have it better. Explore your home, if you like. Our homes. Oh, I thought you said your. I prefer if you said your. But our traditions, respect them, please. I met some of your crew in the Bloom. Didn't Arco and her crew? She presses a hand on her chest and bows her head. Ah, thanks. Outworlder, from myself and from the crew. Should you see her again, please tell her that the way to Arco is open to her. Tell me more about your people. We lived here on the Arch-Rage, as did our ancestors, for countless generations. Trapped here, they grew old, intermarried, raised families, our laws came one by one as we built a new society here in isolation. We are military, Lascar, soldiers, sailors, we have hierarchy and strength. All know the place, all have the chance to ascend on merit, no favoritism. My own child is not even a Gemma. A Gemma, okay. I do not review her records. I could lose my position for such an infraction. She struggles. All families have such struggles. Such a family are we Lascars. We struggle against time, against memory, as we keep an eye to the sky. Always dreaming of the sky. Until then, we hold tradition of the civilization at home. Okay. What about your people? Can I help you leave Jokins? She smiles slightly. We are not searching for any port. that will take refugees. We await the ship that will come for us. Our tradition tells us the home has not forgotten us, and what we will... Is it the ship that's crashing there? And that we will one day breathe its air again until we can reach home. We will not, she chuckles. Could you summon the ship to us or create pathways to our native land? We would depart gladly, but not until then. What's the pinging noise? She looks at you strangely for a moment as if she had no idea what you spoke. And then comprehension comes. Ah, the signal. For so long have I heard it, I have forgotten. We call for the ship, perhaps it has become lost. If so, we light a beacon in the void. An elder void. The ones who built this place? She shakes her head. I do not think so. We lived here many, many years. But if we built the Archage, no memories remain. They tell us only that we serve. Perhaps it was built by our people. Perhaps it was always here. We do not know. Tell me about your society. I lead as captain of the Archage. Is my command marriages I approve. I lead the rights. To me falls all responsibility for survival, she smiled. But such duties are wondrous. I delegate as captain did before me. So we have pilots, major, Jemandis, sound like Jumanji, and others. They prove themselves through work, rise through ranks. Every 10 years, those of the high rank may challenge me for my position. We speak to the codex and match our minds. We solve scheduling, mathematical, logistical problems. Should my challenger win, I retire and advise. We cannot survive without cooperation. Was the codex you mentioned? It is a device sacred to us, she says carefully, her eyes on yours. It is our only connection to the lost home. Oh, so I probably need it. She folds her arms and adds, we do not allow outwards to see it. I mean, no offense, but do not ask. Why can't I visit the codex? Don't ask. She exhales, her teeth clenched, and looks up. Fury wavers like a trapped flame. Do not ask about it. Why can't I see it? Behind her eyes. We were not always so protective. That was before outworlders tried to steal it a few years ago. She holds up her hand. Perhaps you are different. This does not matter. No outworlder will ever be allowed to see the codex again. You tell me anything about the outworlders who tried to steal it? She growls, whispering, a hand over her head. Clearly she regrets broaching the topic at all. We were foolish. They came to us through a portal from your world. We welcomed them as guests and showed them the Archage, the codex. Her hand is first at her side. One of them put hands on it. His friends attacked us. The Archage burning the walls with their fire.
Making a note.
Yep. We need it somehow. Shaking her head, she continues. We killed them, of course, all except the one who touched the codex. We questioned the two. He died screaming a word over and over. She watches your face. The word was Dragogen. Tell me what you learned from the outworlder who tried to steal the codex again. Same thing. Tell me about the ship. New. Until the ship appears from the void and comes to take us home, we serve the Archage. As the generations account before us, some fear the ship may never come, but we hold our eyes to the heavens in faith. She spreads her hands wide. Until that day, we toll when the ship comes, and it comes soon. It will find a welcome brethren of Archage, and in our hearts. Tell me more about the Archage. Void is great and vast, it holds terrors, and Archage is respite, a place of rest and safety. There were once many ships with many people. They came here, rested, refueled, took up passengers, travelled to many worlds around many stars, and then they stopped coming. But we remain. Thank you. And with that, we're going to end the episode. So please like, please subscribe, please see you next time. I've been IVATOPIA. If you haven't already, share the video, and once again, subscribe. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.